Hi guys, Rob from Rob's Model Cars, and welcome to the new format for how it was made. So you joined me today for episode 23, and this is how I made a replica of USA collector Dan's Cinque Roadster number 4 of 5. So I'm using this Pico flash pink Zonda as a base, and first thing I wanted to do was to see if I could get rid of this Tricolore stripe. Now, I was able to just use my fingernail here and scratch it off, so the decal was already clear coated underneath the Tricolore stripe, so it was very easy to remove it with my fingernail. I then removed the model from the base just by unscrewing it, and then started to disassemble the model. Now, these resin models are assembled quite crudely, and they just use hot glue basically to hold the interior pan, wheels, tyres, things like that. So you just have to carefully cut away the hot glue, and then you can pry these parts loose. I have some new decals I had made, some Tricolore stripes to go over the centre of the car, and some Hobby Design yellow stitching decals for the new seats. Now, the interior just needed a little bit of a repaint, and I simply used Tamiya enamel flat black, and I just brush painted the white sections, which are now black. So that's a pretty easy transformation on the inside. I did have to make some new custom seat belts as well, so I made those. I don't think I took a photo of that, but I did make some seat belts, and first coat of paint on the door trims to cover that bright flash pink colour. Now, I thought I'd see if I could remove the pink stripe on the body as well with my fingernail, and I was able to do that as well. So that just saves me putting a decal on top of another decal. So I did the same through the back of the model. I removed the pink stripe all the way through with my fingernail. Now, the back of the model, I don't really want to do too much to that. It just has the coloured Tricolore rings around the tail lights, so I wanted to get rid of those, and I just used a very fine Tamiya paintbrush and painted those out black. I did apply a second coat after that. This is the new Tricolore stripe I added to the rear wing. And the rear diffuser was all pink as well, so I need to do that in carbon fibre. So I just used some masking tape to make some templates for the carbon fibre decal, and I draw on the template the direction of the carbon fibre. I then transfer those masking tape templates onto a sheet of carbon fibre decal and cut them out. I can then apply them onto the part like this. I do slice the decal where those vertical fins are, and then I do those vertical fins in smaller pieces. So this is the easiest way to wrap a complicated shape like that. These are the new seats for the Roadster, painted flat black, just with Tamiya spray can, and then I've added the Hobby Design yellow stitching decals onto the seats. There's a shot. You can see I've added some cloth seat belts with some little photo etch buckles, and I also found some seat belt clips in my parts box, and I painted those up and glued those onto the side of the seats as well, and I added a little Zonda silver decal to the headrest as well. So that is really the interior finish. Not a lot of work to change this model into Dan's replica. Next challenge was these wheels. So as you can see, they have a pink stripe on there. I needed a yellow stripe, so I actually used some tyre stripe decals that I had made for tyres, and they just happened to be the right diameter. So I had to use 3.5 pieces of decal per lip, but I was able to use my magnifier and place those decals all the way around on top of the pink stripe. Next was to tackle the body, so I used some masking tape and covered up all the carbon areas on the model to expose just the pink parts that need repainting yellow. I then rubbed the pink paint down with a 3M fine sanding sponge, and then applied some white 2-pack automotive primer. These are the rims with some clear coat over them. That just locks the decals in place, and this is also the rear carbon diffuser clear coated as well. That's the rear wing as well. So all those decals are held in place by the clear coat. This is the body I painted. This is actually a Lamborghini colour called Giallo Midas. It is a pearl yellow, so it required a yellow base coat first, then a couple of coats of the yellow Giallo Midas, and then a couple of clear coats over that. This is the masking tape removed from the body, and if I have any bleed throughs in colour between the yellow and the black, I just use a really dark grey colour and just touch up over the yellow paint, so where it bleeds through, so this hides any bleed throughs. I also added a black stripe on the side, which is actually carbon fibre pattern decal to match the real car, and then I added the Tricolore stripe through the hood and through the back of the car as well. Now I'm going to clear coat over the whole body again, so this will lock those decals in place as well. Here I've masked up the front window and the interior, ready to spray clear over the whole body. That will just give a more uniform finish right across the model's body. Here it is a couple of hours after I clear coated it, so it looks super wet and glossy. While the clear hasn't fully hardened, I remove all the masking tape so it doesn't give any hard edges, and as you can see, it gives a seamless finish between the new yellow paint and the existing carbon fibre body. And I also gave the rear diffuser and the rear wing another couple of coats of clear as well, just to make them super glossy, as you can see. So in my mind, you can't beat automotive clear coat. It's so much superior than like a Tamiya clear coat. So I started assembling the model again. So dashboard went back in the car, the air intake snorkels on the side fenders are back in. This is the interior pan put back in the model. As you can see, I've put some dobs of hot glue there to hold it in place. That's how these resin models are put together. A little bit of glue on the engine grills, a bit of tape to hold them in place. Did some black paint outs in the wheel wells because these were all yellow from when I painted the body. And then simply put the wheels back onto the metal axles, how the model came, and screwed the original floor back in place and screwed my new carbon fibre diffuser in place. A little bit of detail now on the side, the door Pagani emblem, the door lock and the Horatio Pagani logo on the side, which I got from Auto Art Spares. Front canards in place, and then basically that was the model reassembled, so I screwed it back onto the original base that the model came with. And overall I'm really happy with how this model came out. It was a relatively easy paint conversion job. These models come apart pretty easy, not too much glue, so it made the job a lot easier. And yeah, that was a new trick I found with the yellow stripe decals for the wheels, something I'll do again, and also the seat stitching decals. So overall, this is another one-of-one creation for my Pagani collection. So yeah, it makes me want to build a replica of car number 2 now, the red pearl version. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the new format of how it was made, and thanks everyone for your support on the channel, and look forward to a few more narrated videos. So until next time, thanks for watching Rob's Model Cars.